And here are the standings after 7 rounds. Maxime LaGrave in first place, sole first place, 4.5. Geary, Grishuk, Aronian, and Carlson with 4. My buddy Carl Nakamura, after his heartbreaking loss to Carlson in an incredibly complicated ending, with 3.5. Caruana Adams with 3.5. Vishinan with 2.5. And Topolov with 1.5. Tough break for Carl. 2 more rounds to go. Hi folks, John Cordisco back again. Well, this was round 7. A hell of a round it was. In the 7th Annual London Chess Classic, the 2015 edition. The third leg in the 3-leg series of tournaments called the Grand Chess Tour. Normally I don't say anything before the beginning of the game, but this video and my next video are going to be 2 former world champions that just get their behinds handed to them. They just get dismantled. This very rarely happens, and it happened in the same tournament. Vishy Anand, former 6-time world champion as white, and Maxime LaGrave, playing unbelievably in this tournament as black. He had a tough year, and Maxime is making a big comeback. Let's get to it. It's going to be a Nadorf, which is, we'll call him MVL for short. He's an expert in the Nadorf. Real expert. E5, typical stuff. Knight comes over. We'll go through the next few moves here. Knight, Queen D3, C4. Vishy just gets dismantled in this. It's difficult. If you're a Vishy fan, you know, hold your hand over your eyes. B5, Knight D2, and already we're on move 12, and black has a small, tiny advantage. Equalize that quick. Knight C5, bishop takes, pawn takes, B3. Well, white isn't castle yet, but it won't be long before you will. Bishop takes. Now C pawn takes. Knight E8. Just to post a knight on D6. And white finally castles. Now we're back at a small advantage for white, but look at those pawns. Look at the space black has. This might not seem like much, but this is a really good setup for the Nadorf. Knight D6. A4. Bishop G5. Interesting. That's also the computer's choice. Fairly close second is H6. Knight goes to F3 to hit the bishop. Bishop goes to F4, of all places. Computer bears that out as well. Interesting might have been C4, which is the computer's second choice. That would have mixed things up a little bit, but MVL decided to go bishop F4. A takes. And now, of course, you all see it, right? F5. What to do, what to do? I mean, who would have saw that F5 move from there? F5. Open things up. Knight D2. And Queen G5. Looks like black's going all out. Now, you got to remember, before this round, it was a 4-way tie. It was MVL, Nakamura, Geary, and I forget who the 4th person was. We're all tied for first place after 6 rounds. So, Vishy's having a tough tournament. He lost in round 6. And maybe MVL just smells blood. Rook A to D1 to guard the knight. A takes. E takes. Rook to A2, rook to A3 is about the same. MVL decided to go rook to A3. Now, those of you that are wondering about knight takes, knight E4, queen moves, knight takes, and that sits really well for white. So knight E4, then C4, and this is where I think Vishy miscues. Queen F3 is the computer's choice, Queen B1. The third choice, and poor one at that, almost a 1.5 advantage for black, is Queen to C2. Very unlike Vishy. Very unlike Vishy. Give you an idea, if he went queen to f3, after queen to h6, g3, rook takes, queen to g2. I mean, it sucks to be white here, but it's not the end of the world. But after queen to c2, queen takes f5, it's over a point and a half advantage now for MVL. Rook takes, and it's just, poor Vichy's just on the run here. It's horrible. It's almost a 3-point advantage already, and we're on move 25. Excuse me, rook takes b3. Lost my place there. And what's he supposed to do here? Believe it or not, the best move is queen takes. And after c takes, knight takes. Alright, so he's going to get a rook and a knight for a queen and a pawn, but it's still horrible. I mean, he did the best he could, but what a mess. What a mess. Queen to g6, knight takes, e4, trying to cause some kind of counterplay, d6, b2. And how's he going to stop that pawn? Knight to d4, queen takes, d6, bishop checks, king moves over, knight to e6, hitting the queen, bishop takes check, king to h1, and this is a beautiful move. Now the computer likes rook to a8 for a black, but I like this move. It's a lot prettier. See if you can find it. The first suggested move for the computer is rook to a8, which makes perfect sense. But the move that Maxime made is sweet. Rook takes f2. Oh, I love that move. Love it, love it, love it. I mean, it's pretty. A deflection. Knight to g5. To give you an idea, if rook takes, queen takes, and king has to take, and that's the end of the end. After black with the bishop, and then the queen the pawn, and blah, blah, blah. After knight to g5, bishop g3 for MVL, and that's where Vichy finally threw in the towel. In fact, I saw a small interview on the LondonChessClassic.com website where they interviewed Maxime, and Vichy didn't show up. I guess he was pretty upset. That's 2 games in a row Vichy lost. Not good. To give you an idea what would happen, after knight to h3, rook takes, queen to c5, and it's a disaster. Absolute disaster. Anyway, folks, that puts Maxime in the first place in the London Chess Classic 2015. Tough break for Vichy. I'm going to show you another video after this later tonight where another world champion bites the dust. Anyway, folks, as I want you all to remember, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.